Well, good morning. This is Longhaultanker Straight Razor Shaving with Longhaultanker, and it is Thursday morning, the 5th of May, 2022. I've got 48 hours worth of growth on my face, and I'm going to run through the equipment here real quick in just a second. But today's shave is going to be completely different than my last shave, where we use all the beginner's equipment. Today is the ultimate. Today is what we strive for. And it's really, for me, I won't say it's why I got involved with this hobby, but it's the natural conclusion. It's the apex terminal point, you might say, although I still got a couple of things coming, well, one thing in particular that I will announce in due course. But I got, this is just, this is the Martin de Candre video that I wanted to make. So I broke out all of the Apex equipment for today's shave. For our razor this morning, we're going to use the Boker Count Engelbert II. It's a 7/8, and it's got natural horn blonde scales. It's got all the beautiful etchings and gold encrustments. And it's just an absolutely beautiful razor. It was, when I first got it, I honed it up on the conical, and then I decided to change it over to the Arkansas surgical black, and or hard black, if you will, Dan's whetstone. And so we're going to present this razor this morning in our shave this morning. And as commented on, here we go. Here we go. Martin de Candre Original. It has a lovely lavender scent. I'm very excited and very interested in using this. And the instructions from Martin de Candre inside the box, and what a beautiful box the item was sent in. So that jar you just saw goes down inside of this box, and the lid, of course. But the instructions there, you see, make particular emphasis of making sure that the soap dries out thoroughly. And I've read on the website and so forth that the way it's made, it depends upon the drying and hardening process. And so what I'm not going to do is that I'm not going to soak the soap in hot water. I'm just going to take a hot brush with minimal water and start lathering on that. And to that end, I didn't want to use a big brush. I was going to use my Simpson Chubby 3 Manchurian Badger, and I thought, no, I'm going to go with the QED Select Manchurian Silver Tip, which is so very soft with good strong backbone. It's a 24 millimeter. It's in faux garnet handle, but it's such a soft, and I didn't want to just rip into the soap and take more. So I'm going to go with a soft bristle, and I'm just going to apply and let the bristles do their job. So I'm letting that soak. And so those are the three primary elements that we're going to use in the shave: the brush, the razor, the soap. And then as a part of the experience this morning, I'm going to, after the face shave, I'll cut the video and I'm going to come back with a head shave. Which I think will be the first or the second or third after the original head shave, when I started doing the whole head. And we're going to use a gold dollar that's in the shape, and you've seen them on on Amazon in the shape of a Wade & Butcher smiling blade wedge sword, but it's not a wedge, it's a full hollow, but it's got that shape to it. It's got that, and you'll see when I get there. So I'm going to break the video, come back with a head shave, and at the end of the head shave, we will have the application of the refinements. I like that word, refinements. Application of the refinements. And so this is not a beginner's shave, as you might imagine. This is not taking a gold dollar and a Norton 4000, 8000. This is, for me, this is an apex shave. Apex, I mean, you know, you don't want to brag on how much money it costs you for all this different stuff, but it's not cheap. It's not cheap. And while there are entry points or cost points at for different levels of equipment that you want, I would never buy, I shouldn't say never, but it's not in my wheelhouse to go buy a custom razor for $2,000 or $3,000. That's not what I want to do. I want to use equipment that is generally available on the open market, whether it be vintage razors at eBay, whether it be new production razors from Thiers of Sard or Boker or Dovo or other current producers of straight razors. I want to be able to go to the internet and buy what I want, whether it be low end or whether it be high end. And so what I have generally, I don't have any what you might call really custom stuff. I don't have any, I mean, even the couple of Elite razor brushes, High Mountain White, Manchurian, Premium Silver Tip Badger, they're really not. I mean, you go to his website, you pick out the handle, you pick out the knot, and he puts it together, or he'll send it to you separately and you put it together, and it's generally available. I mean, you can get whatever he has that is available. And so that's the pond I like to play in, and it's a very big pond. You can buy some very nice stuff like Count Engelbert II Boker razor. Yeah. So we're looking forward to this. All right, so I got my brush. I'm squeezing out and knocking out the excess water. I've got my shave soap, my Martin de Condé in its beautiful glass jar. And I'm just going to start swirling. And I'm loading up the brush. That's what it looks like right now. I don't know if that's enough, not enough. I don't know. We'll find out. And I'm going to clean the edges off of the jar. Clean the top off on the soap. And there we are. That's what I'm going to start with. If I need more, I'll get more. And I'm going to lightly dip the tips in water. And I've read some of the reviews, and I will say, other than, yes, it's a very nice soap, yes, it lathers very well, is it worth it? No, they say. And I'm not going to be, you know, the naysayers are abound plentiful on the internet. And a thing is worth what a buyer is willing to pay the seller for the item. And I'm certainly not a Martin de Condre expert, but it seems to me that with its continued success at that price point, it must be worth the money that people are willing to pay for it, because they keep paying for it, don't they? Still kind of pasty, and I'm working the water in. And I'm going to take my time this morning and add a little more water. Add a little more water. I watched somebody's video last night. I think it was Barber Dave's video, and he was I think he made passing reference to the lather that he was working on. I watched 3 videos last night. And I think his was the one that was talking about the whipped cream consistency of the soap. Work it up, you know, and of course he's talking about bowl lathering. And I get that, which I don't. I rarely do. I don't know if you consider that last video I did where I used the Vanderhagen in the ceramic cup bowl lathering. Because I just loaded the brush. That's really all I did. I'm getting to a point where I feel like I'm satisfied where I would normally commence shaving. But I'm going to do like, just for a minute, I'm going to do like what another fella does on the internet. Brandon Shaves. I watch his stuff. When he uses a straight razor, that is. Which is not all the time, but that's, you know, that's all right, whatever. And again, I'm using my makeshift setup here because my camera mount is in the truck. But I did order another one this morning to have at the house as we'll get in tomorrow morning. I have my next load assignment too, going out to Torrance, California, leaving on Saturday morning. So I got another day or two at home. I do have some plans tomorrow. All right, we're going to go with that. Little bit got in my mouth, and it just tastes like ordinary soap. Okay. Had a good night's sleep, feel good. Ready to enjoy my day at home with my wife. I don't know if you can hear her in the background. She's on the phone working. Works from home. She does. All right, here we go with the Count Engelbert. I'm not purposefully intending to make a comparison between a Count Engelbert honed up on a hard black Dan's Whetstone to a gold dollar honed up on a Norton 4.8 synthetic Whetstone. But you can't help but do it since you did one after the other. Very satisfying. Very satisfying indeed. And so for the beginner, like yesterday or day before yesterday, you got the gold dollar, you got the Norton 4,000, 8,000 Whetstone, and you can get started. Like I said the other day, for about $130, $140, you can get those beginning elements, the Vanderhagen soap ceramic cut and boar bristle brush. That item was about $25. You can get a gold dollar for about $10 to $15. And I get two, because you always want to have a backup and you want to start practicing honing, and you want to have more than one razor. And you can set a bevel on a 4K. You don't have to have a 1K or less, 500, or what others may use to set a bevel. They might take a few extra strokes, a little more pressure, but that's what you're trying to learn when you're beginning to hone. The primary thing is learning how to apply the appropriate level of pressure. And you can't do that without making your mistakes, without applying too much pressure, without applying too little pressure. And so that's a very important thing. One thing I failed to mention, and I should have, I was watching Gary Harwood last night, and he's a professional barber, and he was shaving a client, a customer, And I've been complimented on this before myself, and that is stretching the skin. You got to stretch the skin. One of my objectives in that series of strokes was to get the shave line below the jawline, which I well did. And the same would be true when you're doing an against the grain. Get that when you're coming up. Oh, I did get myself there a little bit. And so, like I said, I watched 3 shaving videos last night before I turned the lights out. Gary Harwood, Barber Dave, also known as Handle Barber Dave on YouTube, and Lukey3262. Did I get that right, Matt? Did I get it right? I think I did. I took particular note to try and memorize that last night. Okay. So the soap does have a very noticeable lavender scent. It's not overpowering. It's on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd call it personally, I'd call it about a 6.5 or so. Of course, I like strong scents too, and so it may not be as strong as I would like it or prefer. It's certainly not as strong as the Sterling Soap Company's Bergamot Lavender, which is a just powerful, delicious scent. I'm trying to turn myself to an advantageous position to the camera, hoping you can see this. This will be a home soap. I don't want to take the glass jar in the truck and risk cracking, breaking, dropping. This will be a home soap. Another thing is I don't want it to be my singular soap on the road where I'm just, using it all up. This is one I want to preserve, use on when I'm home, which in and of itself is a special occasion. Just lovely. Yeah. So the Torrance, California load that I leave on Saturday, they're giving me, it delivers on Wednesday. I'll get out of the yard by noon, presumably, on Saturday. So that gives me 3.5 days for what would ordinarily be a 2.5 day trip from Houston to Los Angeles. I don't have a lot of time to dawdle. Dave, I might be calling you. Might be calling you on the way back on this one, but I'll contact you privately if that's the case. I did request a back haul out of San Diego again, so maybe not. And that's just all based on availability. You can tell by looking at the soap, it's drying out a little bit, and I'm just getting it spread out so I can add some water to it. So, to complete my luxurious lineup, I did order a new item out of France. Not going to tell you what it is yet. I'm going to keep teasing you. You're free to make a guess. I will neither confirm nor deny yet what it is, but it is luxurious. And it's a piece of hardware, not software. But that's all I'll say on that for right now. That full hollow's talking to me. Can you hear it? Or is it a quarter hollow? I forget what it is. Half hollow, maybe. Yeah. Wonderful shave. Soap is performing as, I can't say as expected because I've never used it before, but it's performing well. No, I'm not going to be like those that say it's not worth it at all. And there's a little bit of, I'm glad I got it. And I don't mind paying the price for it. I don't know that we'll see how long these last. I have a suspicion that they'll last quite a long time. And the three of them together may last, I don't know, 10 years? Does that sound unreasonable? I don't know. And maybe even longer in rotation with some of my other soaps. And by then, does it really matter? I'll be 80, 90 years old. If they last 30 years in rotation with the other, I don't know. As with most truck drivers, I have credentials that have to be upheld or maintained, kept current, make sure they don't expire. And things like a medical card, passport, TWIC card, hazmat endorsement, CDL, all those things have to be kept current. And I've already done my medical card for the year that issued on a 1-year basis. This year, my TWIC card and my hazmat endorsement expire. Next year, my CDL expires. And what the hazmat endorsement, this is crazy. Hazmat endorsement is approved for 5 years, and the CDL is approved for, or it's the other way around. Hazmat endorsement is 4 years, and the CDL is 5 years. So they expire strangely on, they're not on a even schedule. Curious and confusing. Anyway, so most people, when they go to renew their hazmat endorsement, go ahead and renew their CDL, and they give up that year. The CDL, I think, is like $16. The hazmat, I think the hazmat endorsement is not any more than that or around that. So I'll be good for another 4 years. There is a test every time you take the hazmat endorsement. A lot of people get kind of freaky about that. I've never had a problem with it. It's 9 pages worth of material in the CDL handbook, and there's plenty of online helps with sample questions to prep you for it. So I've never had a problem with it. And the thing I always find with a TWIC card now, that's the Transportation Workers Identity Card. I called them this morning. It was just, when I come home, I never know when I'm going to be home. I never know when I'm going to go out. Trying to make an appointment for a date specific to go and do something is just darn near impossible. Doctor's appointment, dentist appointment. And I've already got my doctor and my dentist well trained that, hey, when I call, I need the appointment now. Don't schedule me on for 2-3 weeks from now or a month from now. I need to see you now. And I've got them well trained on that because I've been going to them for such a long time. But anything else, forget about it. The TWIC set me up for a May 17th appointment. Like, where am I going to be on May 17th? Or I've got to schedule it and take time off. And my company may bring me in like 4 or 5 days before, but because I've got that appointment, they're going to put me on downtime. That is to say, they'll put me out of service. So I can make the appointment, and then after the appointment, it may be 2, 3, 4 days after before I actually get a load. So I could be down for 2 weeks for a 1-day appointment. What sense does that make? It does. So TWIC does have a walk-in feature where you can just walk in, like walking into DMV and waiting. Oh, that's so nice. I did make passing reference, or maybe even more than a little passing reference, to the early influences on me in the videos, in the previous video. And they're good. They all still hold true. But let me just say this too, that the more current, the more recent influences, as I watch them, and I continue to watch and learn, I learned something very interesting from about stretching around the chin. But it's from a barber to a client in the chair. But there are lots of good videos that are being made by individuals, particularly at the shaving cadre. Barber Dave, Major Rich, Nurse Dave, Lukey 3262. I think I got that right. Now, Gary Harwood, I don't believe, is at the shaving cadre, but he's easily found on YouTube, and others quote him, and I've heard his name around for quite some number of years, last 5 or so, and as being an expert on caudicle honing. And while I did watch a few of his videos, I've never saw any of his shaving videos, either on a client or on himself, until just recently, in the last several weeks or few months. You know what? Let's see if we can get some more out of that. Sometimes the soap likes to get down in the knot of the bristles and dry out. And you got to work it out like I'm doing now. Bill M. Let me add him to my list of people that I watch regularly and has we may come back on the lip there in a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that got it. That got it. All right, moving right along. Somebody else I watch on the international level is a fellow by the name of Maddie Lindholm out of Sweden, and I enjoy his videos when he's using a straight razor, which is most of the time. He uses a DE once in a while, and I just don't watch the DE videos because they don't interest me. It's not that I don't like the fellas that are using them. I don't watch the Shavette videos either. No offense to you guys, you know, but they just don't interest me. I stay with the straight razor because that's what I want to learn about. No, I think that was the right move this morning to go with the smaller brush. And less coarse brush on that soap. Okay, we're about done for the first part of the video. I hope you were able to see well enough given my makeshift setup without the mirror mount. Very nice indeed. Okay, we're going to call it quits right there. We're going to pause for a minute and get our setup ready for the head shave, and then we'll be back. And you won't even know a difference. It will be a separate video, but it'll get posted up after the face shave. So to all my viewers at YouTube, hit the like and subscribe. I appreciate your watching. I know this is, I always take a long time because I take my time. I have no financial interest. I don't answer to anybody except to myself. And this is the way I like to shave. And it's like this every time I shave, unless I don't do a full 3-pass shave. Anyway, and if you're at YouTube and you hit the like and subscribe and you like what you see, go on over to theshavingcadre.com, www.theshavingcadre.com, and participate, make an account. It's free. Friendly people. I've been there since November and I've been warmly received and have my videos posted up over there as well. All things wet shaving related over there and accepted warmly. So until next time, probably on the road, we'll see you down the road. Bye-bye.